Let me just say that I'm really excited today because what we're doing can really help the average American. And I want to thank Nancy in particular because I think she's always looking out to see what we can do, not only as Democrats, but as members of Congress to really make a difference to help people in their daily lives. And this is really something that does that. Steny mentioned how drug prices are out of control, and that is really true. I really want to stress that the status quo is simply unacceptable. Something needs to be done, and we're going to do it. The problem right now is that the drug companies basically charge whatever they want, and unless a drug has generic competition, which obviously we encourage, then they basically do what they want and they have a monopoly. On the other hand, in many other countries, that's not the case. Most developed countries actually have their government negotiating prices on behalf of their constituents, and as a result, the prices are a lot less in most of the other developed countries of the world. And so what we do is we subsidize the other countries, which is wrong. We need to give the authority to the government, in this case, the Department of Health and Human Services, to negotiate prices. They're specifically forbidden to do that when Medicaid Part D was created, and now we're going to reverse that and put in place a mechanism to achieve real price reductions. So what do? Well, first of all, the Health and Human Services Secretary has to identify the 205 most expensive, if you will, drugs for which there is no competition, no generic competition, and then on an annual basis negotiate for at least 25, and that's a floor, at least 25. And also insulin, which is not part of the 25, but also has to be negotiated. And that negotiation has to prioritize the drugs that will create the greatest savings for taxpayers. The top 25 drugs right now make up about 23% of the spending on prescription drugs. So this really makes a difference. Now, we do have to make sure that the negotiations produce significantly lower drug prices. We say that the maximum price that can be set is 1.2 times the international average market price, which is basically the price if you average some of these other countries that actually negotiate prices. This is going to mean real savings to the average American. I just wanted to give a couple of examples. For example, Lantus, an insulin drug for diabetes, costs almost 4 times more in the U.S. than in Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Australia. Dulera, a drug to control asthma, costs over 3 times here as it does in Canada. And Lucentis, a macular degeneration drug, costs 7 times more here than in France. And it's just not fair. I mean, we want to level the playing field so that the American people, have a real shot at, having some lower prices that'll make a difference in their lives. So we promised this as part of our Better Deal last November. This is a better deal. Energy and Commerce will have a hearing next Wednesday in the Health Subcommittee to begin the process in our committee. And now I want to introduce Richie Neal. I want you to know that all three of us, Bobby, Richie Neal, and myself, we're working together on this. This is going to be a joint effort with the Speaker and with the leadership. And we find that we're very much on board together in making sure this is a united front. Thank you, Rich.